Welcome back to the Global Business Report on Arise News. All right, so cinemas have been closed for 6 months now, and the billions have been lost as far as theatrical revenue is concerned. But some are making the argument that had Nollywood been more developed, they would have been able to weather the storm caused by COVID-19. Is that a fair assessment? We're going to be talking to Alexander ONYEGBULA from Financial Derivatives Company to talk about Nollywood, their progression, and, how things are going to look out going forward. Alexander, good morning to you. Could you give us a brief summary of Nollywood's progress over the years? How has it fared in terms of growth of the entertainment industry and contribution to employment and overall GDP?
Well, Nollywood first started out as a direct-to-video entertainment system where they were on a low budget. They created a lot of low-quality movies to pump out numerous movies. However, over the years, they moved away from that tactic and said go for more higher quality movies with higher budgets. Now, we know Nollywood as the second most prolific entertainment industry in the world, surpassing Hollywood and coming just short of Bollywood. It's estimated that they make around $600 million for revenue annually. And in 2016, there was a report from the PwC that it contributed 2.3% to the country's GDP. In terms of employment, it provides employment for a wide variety of employment value chains, such as makeup, cameramen, actors, and the likes. Overall, Nollywood has had a positive impact in the economy.
Okay, so the film industry, though, they faced a number of limiting issues over the past few years. Can you shed some light on these issues and how they've impacted the movie industry?
There are 4 issues. There's the issue of piracy, inadequate funding, inadequate infrastructure, and too many roles for one industrial player. Piracy is the number one issue that hurts Nollywood. It's estimated that Nollywood loses about $2 billion in revenue each year to piracy. How it works is that there are middlemen who act as the link between the producers and distributors. These middlemen get early copies of the movies, but some of them sell these early copies to the highest bidders, who then in turn sell them off in markets, and it greatly hurts the number of viewers for the original content in cinemas. Next is the inadequate funding. There's still a stigma around Nollywood that the movies it produces isn't up to standards like other industries like Hollywood. So private investors aren't really encouraged to invest in it. So movie producers, indie film producers have to work on their own budgets, their own finances, and that leads to a problem of inadequate infrastructure. Since they work on their own finances, there's not enough money to get the standard equipment they need. So they have to work with cheaper equipment, cheaper cameras, cheaper set pieces, and they generally cut costs. And by cutting costs, some people in the film producing studios have to work several roles, and this can greatly hurt the film process, because if that person manages to mess up just one role, it can mess up the entire film production process.
Okay. And so what possible solutions would you prefer to overcome these challenges, and any takeaways that we can learn from foreign veteran industries like Hollywood, for example?
Yes, for piracy, we can actually learn from Hollywood, because in Hollywood there was a system put in place where the 30 big entertainment companies like Netflix, HBO, and NBC Universal all came together to form the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment that would grant its intellectual property rights holders the ability to do whatsoever they wanted with their copyrights and move in on people who infringe these copyrights. If a similar system was established in Nigeria with private studios like Nolly TV and Iroko TV, it would greatly curtail the impact of piracy. Next would be inadequate funding. The Nigerian government can be involved in the production processes of this movie, just like the US government and Indian government are for their respective studios. if the Nigerian government can see Nollywood as its national sense of pride and back it up, this will also encourage private investors since they see that Nigeria has national backing. They will be encouraged to invest as well.
All right, so like the fund put together by the central bank, the creative industry fund. That's an example there. How can we promote local distribution and streaming channels? You mentioned Iroko just a second ago, so that would be an example. So that they can compete against the likes of the foreign services like your Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and so on and so forth.
Well, to answer that, we have to look at these foreign distribution services. What do they do right? There's the ease of access, there's the original content, there's the subscription model. For ease of access, of course, when we access Netflix, it's easy to use. People of all ages find it easy to navigate through the menus. The local distribution services can implement this and try to attract all kinds of viewers. Then for the original content, Netflix in particular has a wide variety of shows and series, ranging from comedies to action thrillers. If local streaming services can learn from this and hire their own production teams, they can create their own original content that can rival even the greatest foreign counterparts. And finally, there's the subscription model. Again, Netflix has a model where for the first 30 days after you sign up, it's free use. You can watch anything you want. But after that, there's there are plans put in place you can choose from. There's a basic plan that should cost about $3. There's the standard plan that should cost about $7, and the higher end model about $12. Put this in place, and of course, viewers would be more encouraged because they have the choices to make for what they want to see.
All right. I think we've only got about a minute to go. Aside from the entertainment sector, what other sectors of the economy do you think will be affected by the solutions you've put through now for Nollywood?
Tourism will be one sector affected. Nollywood movies, if they're able to reach a foreign audience, if they're successful enough to reach a foreign audience, they will view our culture. They will see how we live, how we walk. Some of them will be fascinating enough to want to travel over here, see everything in person. Again, foreign investors would also be interested in the Nollywood scene, and that would bring foreign elements into the Nollywood entertainment industry. Next would be the aviation industry, because, of course, we need set locations for the filming of these movies. For the movie crews and casts would need airlines, and that will increase air traffic for the respective airline companies. Finally, other complementary industries like the music industry can also benefit from this, because artists would play their songs in these Nollywood movies. And if the Nollywood movie is successful enough, they can be a jumping off point for them. And they go on to sign on with record labels and other companies, increasing the revenue for these industries. Overall, Nollywood presents a very good source of revenue for the Nigerian economy.
All right, great stuff. Alexander ONYEGBULA of Financial Derivatives Company. We hope to see those solutions, put through. Hopefully, if the cinemas are ever opened again in Nigeria, can get back to seeing how this works out. Thank you so much for your insights.